What's up, guys? It's Rick Ginn here with Flip with Rick, and today is Friday, and it's a cold Friday. I know you guys could care less because I'm in Florida, but it's still really cold for someone like me. I debated on whether to wear a jacket or not, but I'm going to suck it up. So, an incredible week. A lot has happened. Wholesaling's been amazing for us here. Working on some monster deals. We got a lot of deals assigned. And today we are going to talk about how to earn $500K per year easily in wholesaling. Guys, I've done this over and over and over again. And I know you think, gosh, Rick, that sounds insane. That's a huge number. I'm here to tell you, I have lived it. I have done it. And I did it relatively quickly in wholesaling. And yes, you can go way beyond that, but I'm just trying to get you. Remember, our whole goal here with this movement right here with Flip with Rick, Wholesaling Houses for Real, Zach Ginn, Rick Ginn, is to get everybody started in wholesaling, get them to $100,000, and then let you make a decision on which way you want to run with this business. Wholesaling is the fastest way to create financial freedom for yourself, you and your family. I've done it. I taught my 17-year-old son how to do it. And I am here for 2 hours today to share my knowledge and wisdom. So if you're new to the channel, I need you to do me a favor. Just go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And guys, if you like the content, you like receiving information like this, do me a favor, smash that like button because it helps share the video with more people just like you. And the easiest way to connect with them is the more likes we get, the more shares, the more subscribes we get, the more of an impact I can have on this community. You guys know why I'm doing this. I've been doing this for 20 years in this business. I did everything hard. I did everything the wrong way in the beginning, and I have turned the corner. I know how to do this business very well. I've done every coaching program. I've ran the business, and I want to help you out. So regardless of who you use or how you do it, if you just want to get started in wholesaling and you have an interest, you're at the right place. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you guys have checked it out, our YouTube channel, Flip with Rick, which is relatively new, exceeded 25,000 people today. I want to thank everybody who's subscribed on this channel, and I want to continue to grow it. In my opinion, it's one of the fastest growing channels, but I'll let you guys be the decision maker. We do this channel for you, and we are completely unfiltered. I'm going to tell you how it is, and we're a little unorthodox in how we do it. And I think you guys like that. So I think the internet, and really in any financial realm, we have lost the art of authenticity. Like, you meet this person and there's this slick sales thing. It's all great. And you meet them in person. It's like, oh my God. I'm telling you, if you run into me, which isn't hard to run into me, who you see on video is who I am. So I believe for 15 years of this first business, I felt like everybody just kind of had this fake persona. And even the people that did really good in the business, they were like a different person on camera. And I don't believe in it. I didn't gain as many followers in the beginning. And honestly, I stopped being on camera, any type of coaching business back in 2014, 15, because I just felt the business was just getting absolutely out of control and crazy. So, I spent a lot of time with my son and wrestling and my daughter, and here I am again. So I have a different mantra. So if you guys know what we're going to do, I'm going to spend about 20, maybe 25 minutes educating you on how simply you can make $500K easily in wholesaling. Guys, I've done it year after year after year, well past 500,000 up to a 7-figure wholesaling business. And I'm telling you, within a year or two, it's extremely attainable. It's actually not even hard. And I'm going to take you step by step on how to do it. And then we do the best part. We do live interactions. I go 4 hours live a week, 2 hours with my son, 2 hours solo here. And you kind of get dad's view. You get my 22-year-old son's view. And we feel it is the best mix for everybody out there because I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your background is. I almost slipped there. I don't care about your education level because it doesn't matter. You just have to have a willingness and a drive to do wholesaling. And if that's you, this is the place. But guys, before we get started, go ahead and put in your comments. You can put in your questions. I try to take them in order. I'm going to be here for 2 hours. So take advantage of it. I love to answer questions. And my favorite part of being on live with you guys is interacting with you. There's something special about live, and I just wish more and more people would do it. And today is, let's see, it's the 28th. It's 5:06 p.m. I promise you I'm live, and we will share your questions and comments, and let's have fun with it. If you have something to contribute, bring it. Make sure it's positive. Make sure it's going to help everybody else. And guys, in the comments, there's a ton of awesome people. Maybe somebody in your backyard. I find people in my backyard here I'm working with. So share with people in the comments. You guys can network. It is a great platform. Make sure, I don't endorse everybody in the comments because I don't know everybody, but make sure you do your due diligence if you want to do business with them. And let's have fun. And guys, you know where I'm going with this, man. I haven't even reached to my coffee because my hands are cold. Yeah, I'm crying. It's like 62 degrees here. It's supposed to get in the 40s, maybe even the 30s. So you guys post your temperature where you're at. I like to have fun with that. And guys, you have to have fun wholesaling. Stop being boring. Stop being monotonous. You got to have fun. So you got to have fun people you do business with. You got to have fun with the sellers and especially your buyers. So without further ado, I feel the energy is kind of draining, and you know where I'm going with it. Let's put the comments in. Let's go.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
I love that. So I actually use that video because actually I think it represents me and Zach really well. We're unorthodox. We like to have fun. We like to be authentic. I kind of limit not wearing the robe here. I try to keep it somewhat professional, but guys, you got to have fun. You got to understand most people in real estate investing are regular Joes, just like you and me. So I worked a corporate job for 12 years and I just threw in the towel. I tried everything my parents taught me, and I figured out. So at 33, I figured out. So if you're starting before 33, awesome. If you're starting after 33, even better. It doesn't matter. It only takes one deal to change your trajectory. And this is why I am sitting talking to you live right now. I love technology. I think it's amazing. So let's get into it. I got a couple notes here, and then guys, put in your questions. I'll be happy to answer them, and I like to answer them in order. So the earlier you ask, the better off. Towards the end, we go into a speed lightning round, and I answer the questions much, much faster. So, excuse me. Boy, I tell you, I got to get a drink there. So 500K. If you think that's unrealistic, it's in your mind. I'm telling you right, it's not a lot. I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm going to show you the mechanics of doing it because it's easily attainable in wholesaling. So I will tell you right now, can you do 500K by yourself? You can. I will tell you 500K profit net is going to be a challenge solo because we didn't get in this business to run around with our heads cut off, okay? And I don't want you to do the same. So let me preface by saying you want to make what you need to be financially free and spend as much time with your family. Guys, we're only here so long on this earth, so we have to make the best of the time. We all assume like we're going to be here forever. We're not. So let's make an impact now. If wholesaling's your route, that's great. 500K, great. If you want to do $1 million, great. I'm just giving you a roadmap. If you want to take 500K and you want to turn in $1 million, you're going to have to double your efforts and you're going to have to double the steps I give you. So without further ado, I promise you, to make 500K, you're going to have to be a leader. And what do I mean by that? Is you are the shining example of the team you're going to form. You have to walk the talk, and most importantly, you have to lead. How do you lead? You have to empower people. So without getting into this, I'm going to get into the whole team building is you have to have a mindset of a leader, and it's not as complicated as you think. You have to do the right things when nobody's looking. You have to lead your team in the right direction. And sometimes you have to go through really troubled waters. If you don't want to do it, this will be a challenge. And I'm telling you from personal hand experience, I've done 500K by myself. It was torture. It was hard, and I wouldn't recommend it, and I wouldn't ask any of you to do it. Now, here's the really cool thing. It does not take a gigantic team to do it. So full disclosure, I've done this business with a huge team, with huge overhead, with almost 20 agents. Talking about direct salespeople. And I didn't like it. I did it for almost 4 years. I made a lot of money doing it. I was not free though. I was constantly engaged in meetings and Zooms, and to the point, like I'm at a different point in my life. Honestly, if I did that back in my 20s, I probably would have embraced it a lot better. But doing that in my mid 40s, I just felt time slipping by really fast, and I hated sitting at a desk. So if you could relate to that, I want you to understand 500K is going to be a small team. You have to be the leader. Okay. In order to be a leader, you have to be open to criticism. You have to be open to change, and you have to admit when you're wrong. And most importantly, you got to take that ego and throw it out the window. Your ego will kill you as a leader. Okay. You've got to be worried about your team's ego, and you have to lead them. So without going on a 4-hour monologue on leadership, which there's tons and tons of training out there, there's workshops, all business have to deal with leadership. This is not special to wholesaling. You're going to have to acquire that skill. If you don't have it, you're going to have to learn it. And if you've never done it before, start reading like crazy now. Read. YouTube's a great university to get you started. Go to workshops in your area. The really cool thing is it's central to all businesses, and you have to do it. Okay. So once you know you have to be a leader, the next thing is team building. Okay. You do not need a giant team to do 500K. I'm just telling you right now, you can do it with 1 to 3 VAs or 1 assistant and 1 VA. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your son, maybe it's your daughter, maybe it's your aunt, your uncle. You kind of get the drift here. So I like a team because it's going to help you. You cannot do everything, okay? I've yet to meet anyone who has done huge things all by themselves. It's just, there's a limit. There's only so much time on this earth, and you can only touch so many people. So when you bring in a team member, make sure that they are focused towards a marketing and sales activity. Do not bring them in for anything else when you just get started with this. So I like VAs because I can train them on a task that's very redundant, that wastes my time, and I can follow up on KPIs with them. So my suggestion is 1 to 3 VAs. Each VA is going to have a specific job and task, and they have to master it before you give them anything else. That's it, guys. Like, honestly, I did 500K with 2 VAs with my eyes shut. Did I do it correctly? That's up to debate. So I'm not the best. I don't handle the VAs in my company because I'm not good at it. Like there's a lot of nuances that go on with follow-up. The training is intense, and you have to have detailed procedures. So define what your team is going to be, and the people you want to add to your team are the ones that are going to help you with the marketing. Yes, I promise you, we're going to go deep in the marketing here. Okay. So you can do it with VAs. The best way to do it is have some sort of, I'm not going to call it a partnership. You can call it an employee, a partnership. I initially started with my wife when I did this business. My son wasn't around. So bring somebody in that has your back and will help you out. And that person's going to pick you up and support you when you get your teeth kicked in, because I promise you it will happen in wholesaling. That's the best way to do it, and make sure they understand it's a joint effort. and nobody's taking money out of this company till it's extremely profitable. So you pick the method you want to do it, add the VAs, and they are solely towards your SMS marketing, cold calling, RVM, whatever strategy you're going to do. Maybe they're handling your list with direct mail, whatever it is. And that's how you're going to assemble a team. It's not really complicated. It does take time to sit down and write procedures. So the first 7 years of this business, I did it by myself. I was an idiot the way I did it because I was making plenty of money. I just had trust issues and I couldn't get out of my head, and I let my ego take over. So learn from my mistakes, guys, because it's not fun doing it all by yourself. So you want to bring people in that's going to help build. And if you look at an employee or partner, it should be someone that's going to contribute to your overall profitability, not take away. And if you're looking at it the other way, you're looking at it wrong. So when you bring someone in, it's like, honestly, even if you're going to pay a salaried employee 50 or 70,000, the numbers have gotten staggering lately. But honestly, if they don't work out and really by month 3, they're going to be gone anyway. So like, get over it. Like if you have to like, oh my God, I'm owing all this money. But if they come in, they bring you an extra 10 deals, think of how much extra money you're going to make. And you got to look at it like that. So your team is not going to be huge. Like there's this myth out there that you have to have giant teams. The happiest, most functionable, most real wholesalers I've ever met all have small elite teams. And everyone said, I've tried it the other way, Rick. I was losing my mind. I lost my freedom and I didn't get into wholesaling to do this. So if that's your mantra, keep tuned in because that's how I operate. Now, if you're young and you want to run with it, but the problem is most of the time your costs with a big team, they get out of control quick. And in wholesaling, the problem is if you try to scale it on a huge scale, most people fail because the margins get too low. And real estate is a local one-on-one, house-to-house, block-to-block. It is not scalable on a national level. How do I know this? Because I've been around 20 years. I've watched at least 20 huge companies come in with billions of dollars, and every one of them has failed. So understanding anyone who tells you that you can do $3 billion in sales and wholesaling, it's a pipe dream. It doesn't work. I mean, look at Zillow. They just tried it. They just lost $500 million. So it's and they admitted it's too local in each economy. What works in Florida, probably not going to work in California. Every market is specific. And that's the unique advantage all us wholesalers have. So the next part, boy, if I screwed this up in the past, guys, learn from me. I am humble. I understand my mistakes. The problem is 7 years of me spending in this business, I got so good at diving into this thing, it was really hard to get in my head. So I knew exactly what I need an employee to do. I just was a poor communicator when I started. So I have really learned a lot in the last 5 years in how to communicate with people. And I find that most of our problems happen from is just communication. Sometimes when you have a problem with someone, if you just pick up the phone, put the flame out quickly, instead of letting it fester into some sort of massive fight. Yes, this happens with your employees. Okay. You have to listen to them, but you have to communicate. How do you communicate to them? You have to have a detailed plan on how you're going to communicate. So if you work virtually, which by the way, you guys should do this virtually. Do not go get a big office. In my opinion, it's going to chain you to the desk when you do that. And understand that because you got to do long-term leases. You have to have offices, overhead. This is all money you can spend towards marketing. If you want a really long-term player, have them the ability to work in your business virtually and tell them they can live anywhere in the world. And the sky is your limit in who you can bring in. I love that because I can go anywhere. I can go to the Caribbean. I can go up north. I can go to Europe. You can do anything in this business when you do it. But communication. So what's your communication style? There's great software tools like Slack. A lot of people love that. Zoom is a great tool. Just sharing online, and you have structured meetings. So if you have a Monday morning huddle, which a lot of us use, define the time. If it's 20 minutes, make sure it's 20 minutes. And here's the key part most people miss. You've got to listen to your employees' feedback. Some of it is going to be poor. Remember we talked about being a leader, but you do have to take some of the feedback because if they don't feel like they contribute, they're going to leave you. Okay. I never think I'm going to own an employee forever. In the beginning, I used to always think that. But you should have them in your business where they're helping you make so much money and they're so happy they never want to leave you. They're their best advertising. And the best way to do is communicate to them. It's not about buying gifts. They say the number one reason why people leave companies, they didn't feel appreciated. I just had someone tell me the other day, they left the company. I got to hire them, thank God, because their boss just never gave them a happy birthday or said like, Merry Christmas. And like, I'm talking about a very high paid employee, and I've been eyeing this person for years. And guys, like, people are willing to leave 6-figure jobs because their boss didn't say thank you or happy birthday or how's your husband, how's your wife. Understanding this, I've made this mistake before. You have to listen to your employees. You have to listen to the good and the bad. You have to be a leader. So here's my favorite part. 500 grand, you got to be a marketing machine. You have to understand marketing. Marketing is going to be your greatest value to bring to your team to make 500K plus. Okay. Remember, I'm talking about, this is just a starting point for you. Remember, my goal is to get you to 100K, do it by yourself, and then bring a few people to get you up to 500K and then let you launch to the world. Because by then you're going to have so many ideas. My goal is you exceed me and Zach. I don't care. There's more business out there. When we all do wholesaling and we all win, we might have different methods of doing it. I don't care. Like, I'm neutral. I do not care. I've done paid. I've done free. There's good and bad in all of it. But times have changed, guys. Like, the way we communicate, we talk, we connect, it's changed. In 2003 was a different world when I did this. And I was happy to go about the route because it's the only route. A lot of people are still using that route, and I think it's changed. So you need to make the decision on what's best for you. It's not my decision, it's your decision. And don't let anybody's marketing, anyone's peer pressure, having anybody call you 10 times to sign up for a program. You have to make the decision, okay? You got to be authentic in what's best for you. Sometimes it's great for you, sometimes it's not. It's you to make that decision. So, marketing. You have to be the expert marketer. This is what you're going to pick up in your first 6 months to a year in wholesaling. You're going to figure out how to find lists of motivated sellers. We go over endless. We'll talk about it in the questions, I'm sure. And you have to have a sniper approach and gather those lists. You gather those lists, you figure out the services you're going to use, skip tracing, anything like that, and you have to market. Once you understand how to market, you define your territories. You can expand, you can contract. You go here where you're doing a lot of deals. And what happens is, I love marketing. I am the marketing master in my business. This is what I do. And I feel it has the most powerful impact on my business. That and acquisitions. That's the only stuff I deal with, guys, because that's what I'm best at. In the beginning, I did everything. I was terrible at dispositions. I'm going to be honest with you. I was probably the worst disposition person in the wholesaling community. I just gave stuff away. I didn't care. I just wanted to go through it, because when you work by yourself, you don't have as much time. So we're talking about a team, marketing. And the one thing you got to see, once you get your machine going, you have to be brutally consistent. You have to be disciplined, and you have to keep doing it. And here's the best part. Even when your marketing fails, which it will at some point, you have to take the feedback and you have to adjust, and you have to keep going in. The minute you stop marketing because you had a bad month, that's when the wheels come off the bus. And I've made that mistake in the past. And I'm telling you, you want to do a consistent, precise, and you want to leave room to grow in marketing. So I've done everything, paid per click. I've done TV ads. I've done radio. And I've took all the information of what worked and what didn't work. And today, I still do exactly what works. Gosh, all the way back to 2003. We've done a lot of changes. I'll tell you, our methods are much different. But I have learned, and I am constantly learning. 20 years in this business, anybody who says they know it all, run like heck, because we're all learning. The world is constantly changing. The way people connect now, it's actually insane. But so marketing, guys, that's going to be your expertise. That's what's going to get you to the 500K. You've got to be the person in charge of marketing. So you're going to be a leader, and you are going to set the marketing schedule. Once you get it up and running, you can use the VA to help you keep it consistent, meaning getting the marketing out. I don't care if it's bandit signs, SMS, cold calling, RVM, direct mail. You use the VA to keep you consistent. And I'm going to let you in a little secret. I used the VA as like my accountability partner when I was doing it by myself, because I told the VA, we're going to do this every week. And if I got behind a week, the VA is like, Rick, you told me you were going to do it. I'm like, yeah, I know. And a lot of times I'd wait a day or two, and after beat myself up, I go, yes, I committed to it. I'm going to do it. Now, fast forward, it's completely opposite, but I'm just telling you, you will go through the same type of conversation. So marketing, you've got to do it even when it sucks and it doesn't work. You learn from it. Remember, there's no failures in wholesaling. There's just learning curves. And once you learn, you just keep going forward. And the more you go forward, the more confident you get. Like right now, when I do marketing, I love it. Like I write the checks. Actually, I don't. It's just swipe on a credit card now. But if I don't market, I know I'm going to have issues down the road. Can I get deals without marketing? I do it all the time. I do JVs with everybody on the stream, it seems like. So, but I really, really love wholesaling, and I hope it comes through for you guys. So once you understand you are the leader, you're going to drive the marketing ship, then we shift to dispo, just short for dispositions, and that's nothing more than the liquidation of these properties. I will tell you, when I started doing the 500K mark, I struggled horribly in dispositions for one reason. I did not have time. And what I did is I discounted properties deeply to sell them quickly. And I left a lot of money on the table. In hindsight, it would have been cheaper and more effective to hire a dispositions manager. And guys, this is really simple. You do not have to hire an employee for this. Go find a tired realtor or somebody that understands how to sell properties and strike a deal with them and let them push your properties out and tell them, you've got 2 weeks to move this property. You've got 30 days to move this property, whatever it is. And then have a scorecard and have your I used to have daily meetings with them, but at least a weekly meeting. And so if you got 6 properties you need to move out, you got to put pressure on them to move those properties. I did this by myself at the VA. It was a huge mistake, and it cost me millions of dollars. And I want you to learn from it. Dispo is the easiest part of it because you really don't have to do a lot of training. You got to tell them, I need a minimum of this number. Anything extra you sell, I'll bonus you out. And you got 30 days to get it done and closed. Here's the title company we're going to use. Do you think you can handle it? Great. Go take some pictures, get it on the market. Let me know if you got any questions. So the dispo is actually, in my opinion, the easiest one to work with. And it's not hard. I like to work with like licensed realtors because they've already like figured it out. I find one that just, they can't get consistent deals themselves, and you can set. Now, how do you pay them? Completely up to you. Usually you pay them a percentage of the deal, or you can do a percentage of the profit. So usually what I'll do is a percentage of the profit. And then if they move it faster and they get me more money, like we just did a deal this week, the realtor got me $45,000 more. I'm going to take care of them, right? Like I never expected, to be honest with you. It wasn't even close. That's why I don't do dispositions, because I'm so in the art of chasing a deal down. I'm really bored on the disposition side, and my ADHD comes out really bad. And I want to move it, and I'm not patient, because when you're selling these properties in dispo, you're not in a sales mode. You're in like, take it or leave it, take it or leave it. I don't spend energy on that. A realtor will take extra time and do that. Now, it doesn't have to be a licensed realtor, but it does help, and it gives you options to put properties on the market. So that's the best way I can explain dispos. Man, did I screw this up, but I'm telling you, if you're going to do 500K, you've got to have some help, because you're going to spend so much energy on the marketing and acquisitions where you need to be. Make sure somebody's handling the dispo part for you. And in my opinion, it's the easiest part. I missed this beat for a long time, and I'm telling you, without the dispo team I have right now, my income would be cut by 30, 40%. So it's that important, guys. I'm telling you, there are people that are really good at selling properties, and they're like, well, Rick, I'm selling beat up like old houses. I'm telling you, they're really good at doing it. You just got to let them know the time frame. The hardest part of training realtors is like, listen, I need this gone in a week, 2 weeks. And they just kind of look at you like, what are you, crazy? You just got to teach them how to deal with cash buyers and those types of deals. So, because the number one question they ask me, Rick, how long do I have? And and a good one will try to exceed whatever price you have on it. Okay. The last part of this, which we talked about, me and Zach talked about yesterday. We talked about how to do high profit margin deals, 100K plus. If you missed it, it's on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. And we talked in detail how to do this. We have to throw high margin deals in there. So hear me out, guys. If you do wholesaling, you fish through it and you take the time and you find a really motivated seller and a great opportunity, and like you are prepared. And remember, when luck meets opportunity, when opportunity meets preparation, some people call it luck. I call it wholesaling. And if you do this consistently, if I told you the amount of deals that I've done over six figure, you wouldn't even believe me. I'd have to go through and give an accurate number. So I'm going to shoot a number, but it's high. And here's one thing I found out: every year, minimum 3 times a year, I have these deals come across my desk through regular wholesaling. Yes, single family homes. A lot of them are probates. A lot of them have been abandoned. A lot of people just say, listen, I don't know what to do with this house. Is it every deal? No, it's not. But if you consistently do this business, you'll get them. We teach you how to wholesale them. We teach you how to do the acquisitions part. And then if you put the dispo part into it, it's amazing. Now, think about this. If you found 2 deals that made, just say you found 2 deals that made 100 grand each in a year, even say you find one, okay? That knocks you down to what? 300 grand, 350. And so you will do those. I'm just telling you, 20 years, they always come across my desk. I've had 2 opportunities to make a 7-figure deal on one flip. I got close on one, but the other one blew up with me with a lawyer because I didn't know what I was doing, because I was doing everything by myself. So don't do it that way. You can start out doing it that way. Don't end that way. But once you do that, then you're left with like 300, 350K. And honestly, if you average 15 to 17 grand on an assignment or even like a wholesale, you only got to do like 20, 25 deals a year. That's 2 deals a month plus the high margin. Guys, 500K, I've had people go, Rick, that's sky in the pie dreams. I'm telling you, it's easy. You just have to do the business full-time and consistent. You're not going to do that part-time. If you are, you got to be really good at what you do. And guys, this is just the starting. Like, you can get a road back to $1 million and stuff like that. Remember, a lot of people think they can go from 100 to 500, and it is 100% doable. Can you go 500 to $1 million? Absolutely. There's going to be a lot more structured in it. But then people think, well, if I can make $1 million, I can do 10 million. I'm here to tell you, it's much more challenging the further you scale it up. And you have to make a decision. What do I really want in my life? Like, what's my why? If you want to work 15 hours a day, you can make 5 million a year in this business. But you're not going to have, I don't think you're going to have any time. Like, so even if you're the CEO and the leader, you have to have all the meetings and everything. And listen, I'm not knocking it. I just, at some point, I can't take this money with me. So you do charities, you can do 501c3s, you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I've seen more wealthy people miserable, and I do not want to be part of that crowd. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy life. And that's why I'm here to connect with you guys. I love wholesaling. It has changed my life drastically. I believe I spoke to, I'm not great with Facebook messages. I have somebody who helps me out with it, but every now and then I scroll through, and I try to interact and answer as many questions. And I had a wonderful lady, I believe she was a single mother, and just told me how it drastically changed her life. And I just made a comment like, I'm really proud of you. You found your why. This is what you want to do. And she was happy. And then I had 4 other people in the same predicament go, wow, like, that's really powerful. It's real. I can't believe you responded to him. And that's the whole point of why we do these live. So I try to answer it. Guys, send me as many comments as you can. I'm a little bit slow in responding. I apologize. I'm not big on having an assistant answer everything for me, but sometimes, like Friday night after this, I like to sit and scroll through the comments. So I love it. I never ask for testimonials. I believe everything should be organic in this business. I believe that's one of the problems we have in this business. I believe when you go to people's sites and you only see the positive testimonies, they're cherry picked. And I hate that. I don't know how to fix it. I'm wide open suggestions on it. But listen, I can only control what I do. I'm not here to like police the coaching world and stuff like that. Most of them are like really good people. I just wish the business would change and understand that times are changing. There's no more secrets in wholesaling, guys. I'm telling you, it's a basic structure, and I want you all to succeed. So without further ado, I see the comments loaded up in here. Let me get this out of the way here. That's it, guys. 500K. Do not complicate it. Break down the math. Go back and do a replay on this. Okay, if I can pick 100K deal, or maybe I get 150 and that leaves 350. How many deals do I have to do a month? Well, I can tell you can do 2 or 3 and do that. Guys, it's extremely manageable and it's not that hard to do. So I'm living proof of it. My son did it. He didn't do 500K when he was 17, but long before he was 20, And there's no reason you can't do it either. So you're not limited by your education. Wholesaling doesn't care how smart you are, by the way. It cares how hard you're going to work and how dedicated you are to it. So I'm here to tell you, wholesaling is not a get rich quick scheme. It's marketed like that. People say, hey, there's no risk. You do this, pay me this. I'll show you all the secrets. There's no secrets. Anyone tells you a secret, ask them what the secret is. The secret is you have to pay to get the secret. And it's ridiculous. So wholesaling is a basic strategy. I agree. If you want to get more help, you want to like bring in a team and you want to sit in someone's office for a week, then you need to go out and find those types of services. I'm not the guy to do it because I like to go fishing. I like to have fun. I like to spend time with the family. I like to travel. I like to do all sorts of things, and wholesaling allows me to do it all. So let's see here, guys. So make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you can smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I want everybody to know here, we are looking to have the biggest footprint in social media for wholesaling and do a movement. I'm never asking you for a credit card. I coach you guys. I spend 4 hours live with you. Zach does twice as much time with you. We do live calls. We do everything. And the more people we have in here, the more influence we have and the more people I can help out. And then I can help other people change their mind, how we can make this industry better. Maybe we can all work together and help you, the new wholesaler, out. I don't care if you're 5, 10 years into it. By the way, I listen to everybody's stuff. Like, I am wide open, man. Like, I am so unbiased. It's ridiculous. And what does that mean is I can tell you the truth on this channel. So the minute you guys have an issue with one software, I offer you, I don't care which one you use. So we do promote products in our business that we use. And actually, a lot of them we just pay for, just like you do. So we're in this with you, and we enjoy it. So let's get to the comments. I am wide open for questions. Let's see. Let's jump down. What's up, Jose? How you doing? Happy Friday. MJ, smooth criminal, always here. I love this guy. Christian's ready to learn 500K, educate us. So here's the little secret on like earning a lot of money in real estate. It's on, especially wholesaling. At the end of the day, it's on you guys. Like, don't ever depend on some, like me, Zach, a mentor, a coach, whatever you want to call them. I don't know, you calling them anything. At the end of the day, they give you a plan, but it's up to you to enact the plan, and you have to do it. It doesn't matter what method you use. It's on you at the end of the day. So when people like fail on programs, it's so easy to blame somebody else. So at some point, especially in the wholesaling, you have to take accountability for what you're doing. So you have to be a big boy or big girl, and you have to be honest and truthful with yourself. That's what I do on this channel with you guys. Sometimes people get ticked off and upset, but at the end of the day, you got to understand, I haven't taken money from people. I physically never take coaching fees on it because it's just not what it's. I feel I can have a bigger impact doing everybody. Coaching to me is a very personal one-on-one experience, and most mentorships are like a year long. And for me to take 10,000 people and mentor them one-on-one year, I wouldn't make it. Like, I'm realistic. I've done multiple levels of coaching, and it's intense. It's a lot of work. And I do praise the people that do it right, and they do it ethically, and they have strong morals with it. But I don't, to each his own. So let's get into it. I've seen a lot of temperatures. Hello, Rick's dad, Scott. You can call me Zach's dad. That's cool though. So if you guys have kids, you understand the feeling of kids. Like, so many of you like look at Zach, they're like, oh my God, he's so business oriented, stuff like that. Like, at the end of the day, guys, I just want you to understand, he's still my little boy. Like, it gets me even teary eyed talking about it, but it's amazing. And I want you to understand the reason that Zach is where he's at is because I made a decision in my life that I could not tolerate being average, being regular. And I was vilified. I was crucified by a lot of friends Mostly my family supported me, but it was hard. And I broke out of it. So if you're going through those struggles, I'm happy to talk with help you out with it. As you know, Zach runs a lot of my operations. He helps run the team, and I love overseeing, interacting, and eventually I'll fade away to some point, but I'll always be able to. But with tools today, I think I'll always be interacted. So Zach's got another 40 years left in this. I promise you I'll be here as long as I physically can and as long as I'm having fun. Guys, if I'm not having fun, I'm gone. Like life's too short. I'm not going to do stuff I don't want to do. And I suggest you take the same attitude. So if wholesaling helps you free it from it, let's roll. So let me try something here. Let me get into, where did I put that? So I found a new little feature here and I'm gonna give it a shot. So if it bugs you, you guys tell me. Okay. So back to the comments. Phil says, let's go. 13 degrees in Minnesota. Ouch. Somebody topped that with a negative. But I want honest, I don't even know. I've never been in a negative temperature. Honestly, the coldest I've been is maybe 22 degrees. And it hurt. I think that was in Massachusetts on like a March blizzardy storm. It was crazy. So awesome. Look at this. Adrian, 70 degrees in San Diego. Welcome to the club. I love it, but we're getting ready to lose it. I got 22 degrees. Okay, let's get into real estate. I'll talk. I get distracted easily. You guys know that. 34. Let's see. Okay, a lot of. Okay, Patrick, I'm going to put this up the line. What's up, Patrick? How you doing? It says, I'm trying to wholesale market deals, but I can't find a buyer. I just had to go from a 2-house package to a single house. If you can help out, that would be great. I've been thinking about stopping. TBH. I'm terrible with acronyms, so it shows in my age. Sorry about it. It shouldn't matter where the deals are coming from. I'm planning on putting a deal under contract today. Please help. So, Patrick, I don't have a ton of information, so go ahead and put in some follow-up comments, and I'll keep you in queue. Keep an eye on it. I assume you're doing it virtually. And I'm just going to tell you the truth here, Patrick, because you're not going to hear this from a lot of other people. If you guys are struggling to sell a deal and you're honestly doing the exact same features we teach you in freewholesaling.com, you've overpriced the deal, meaning you're either selling it for too much or you have it under contract for too much. You're going to have to make an adjustment on both sides. The challenge with doing virtual is you have the same problem all major corporations have. If we could push one button and do all 48 states, we'd all be out of business because multi-billion-dollar corporations would run wholesaling. So you're having the same problems large corporations do. The bottom line is get a lower price or lower your sales price and see if you can find a buyer. So put some more information in there. I'll try to help you out best I can. Okay. Hey, Angelica, how you doing? She says, I've been using PropStream for a few days now. I've seen a lot of homes in pre-foreclosure and some say notice of list pendants. Are these good people to contact? Yes, absolutely. So pre-foreclosure just means they've missed a mortgage payment and the bank is trying to notify them like, hey, you better make a payment or we're going to file a foreclosure lawsuit. Once they file a foreclosure lawsuit, it's labeled a list pendants. List pendants means they've entered into a formal lawsuit with the county court to go ahead and proceed with foreclosure procedure. So if you catch them in pre-foreclosure, it's a little bit easier. If you get them in list pendants, understanding they've already been probably served notice and it's on record, and most people freak out when they get it, and you want to catch them sooner than later. Yes, they're great people to contact. Okay. It's 50 here. Yeah, we got to stop on the weather, guys. I sometimes I get distracted easily. Check this out. It's Destiny. Thank you for everything you do. I'm 15 and I've been wanting to cold call, but I feel like they won't take me seriously. So my stunt didn't start till he was 17. So you're already 2 years ahead of the curve. So I applaud you because you are not letting your local school system dictate your financial outcome. And that's great. You still need to respect your teachers. I get the best grades you can, and I'd get out of school as fast as you can. Just so you guys know, my son actually went to college, but like he did 2 years while he was in high school because I said get through it as fast as possible. And he got a full scholarship. So you're 15, you got the whole world in front of you. I commend you for doing this, and you can learn so much. I do these channels for people just like you, but talk to your parents, involve your teachers, and find what is going to make you most fulfilled in life. A lot of people say, hey, listen, find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. Guys, it's a terrible piece of advice. I'm sorry. I love fishing to death. I mean, I really do. I'd be broke if I did fishing. Honestly, I would be living in a little teepee hut. Like you're never going to pay the bills doing it. I love it, but it's really hard. And so I went to find something that would allow me to fish, spend more time with my family and friends. And I found real estate because I was good at talking to people. But what I found, like, I love the fishing and stuff, but it was one of the best ways to raise my kids because I could have conversations without the phones on, no distractions. I had great business conversations and I loved it. And somebody told me long and time, like, you don't want to do this because it's going to become a job and you're going to hate it. And God, do I think that person now in my life. So I know who it is. They're not here anymore, but God, it's awesome at 15. Like, so here's what I would do. I would practice as I was 15. I would just practice. How do you do it? Just role play. And if you want to role play, Zach once a week does a cold calling role play. Jump on there. I promise you he won't hurt you. And if he doesn't do it, I'll be happy to do it with you. And if you have a moment, if you go to freewholesaling.com, let me put it up here. Let's see here. I love helping people. I love, like, our youth needs more help than ever now. I think it's awesome she's coming on here. So if you guys could, like, I'm making assumptions because I don't have a name, but whoever you are, you're doing an amazing job. Go to freewholesaling.com and you can study it. And just outside your schoolwork and what your parents say, work in there, look at it. But I'm telling you, I'm going to get you financially free if you do this. There should be a book in there called Bags to Riches. I had my son at 17 document his journey. And there's such basic steps, and he made 100K. So you're going to need some help because you're under the age of 18, and you need to talk to your parents and respect them for it. But I mean, guys, that's awesome stuff, man. Like, crazy, awesome. I wish I had like well, I'm not going to say that. I wish I could, like, have a buzzard or something. I could just thank stuff like that. So let's see here. What's up, Bradley? Rick, will you go through the steps when the paperwork is signed? Now the title company, who do you speak to? And you need to bring the cash and the escrow money. So Bradley, the best way to do this is first go to freewholesaling.com because I walk you through the entire steps. But once you have a signed contract, you're going to give it to your title company. And then your next step is you've got to go find that cash buyer and you need to work fast. So it's contract, title company, find the cash buyer, and then bring your cash buyer to the title company and they'll help you tie the whole thing together. So go to freewholesaling.com. I'll walk you through it. The reason we created this free course that has 20 years of my experience in it is so I don't have to break down like 1 hour of everything to do with you. So Bradley, go there. If you got any more specific questions, please come back. So let's see here. What's up, Matt? Matt says, thanks for the assignment contract. Call the local title company, and they love that. I asked for them to review my contracts. They gave suggestions to add to the contracts. I brought their guard down. So there's no one size that fits all. Every contract I offer you guys or anybody else is every title company, every lawyer wants to do a little bit of a tweak. Just make sure the tweak is legal and advantageous for you. But like sometimes just getting like little tweaks, and usually they're pretty minor. Who cares? I've never had someone go, okay, I'll just contract's a contract. It only needs 7 basic elements to be a contract. It could be on a cocktail napkin. So I'm just telling you, 50% of lawyers are proven wrong every day in our court system. So like when a lawyer tells me I'm wrong, I don't care because I've done it 20 years. Like, I just don't care. So kudos. because that's how you win over your title company. And remember, at the end, the title company is there to help facilitate your transaction, and they kind of come part of your team. So it's really important you run this stuff by them. Awesome. Alex says, is this going to be available for playback? Yes, Alex, because today it's the 28th. Oh my God, my eyes are terrible. It's 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And shoot, I love doing lives, man. So it's a lot of work doing a live and answering comments. Yeah, but it's like, how else are you going to do it? What are you going to like record one side and then like watch the other? So remember what I said, authenticity is what rules in wholesaling. Okay. We're so busy trying to try the latest, quickest trick to scale whatever it is you're doing. I don't care what it is. And we do these little tricks, like we call it live, but it's not live. Am I live in the comments? I was kind of live. Dude, either be live or not. To me, live is when someone gets on stage, you go to a concert and you enjoy it. Can you imagine if the music industry tried to do what we do in wholesaling, where we like, it's live? A lot of people see the thumbnail live and they go, okay, it's live. That's cool. I can interact with them. And then they find out it's not live and they get hurt by it. And it's like, you kind of feel like you're tricked and fooled. It's actually a clever idea. And me and Zach kicked around. We did it. I go, you know what? That's not what we do. So brilliant marketing move, because then you could pump lives out everywhere. And it seems like you're on 24/7 a day. But I've noticed that people, after you do it after a while, people are like, I don't understand what's going on. Now, the content's probably really good. It's just people like the live feature. Why do you guys go to a concert? Because it's live. If you sat in front of a video screen and you said, hey, it's live, and you get there as a video screen, you'd probably be ticked off. And I don't blame them. So yes, it's available for playback. I promise. It'll be on the YouTube channel. I guess somebody says, do you recommend driving for dollars with door knocking, or is there a faster way to find home owners contact their info? I like driving for dollars and just kind of skip tracing them and calling them. It's more efficient. So the problem with door knocking today, listen, I started out door knocking. It's what gave me my confidence in wholesaling, because if you can take a deal down knocking on a stranger's door, it shows your courage, your guts, and your confidence. And even when you don't have it, you still have to walk through that wall. And you know what I'm talking about if you've ever done it. Today, it's a little bit different. They actually have laws where you can't even knock on people's doors, because legislators, like anytime somebody does something wrong, they push down a legislative law and they shove it down our mouth. So you guys are all used to this in wholesaling. We've talked about this to death. So I'm not here to debate it, but it doesn't just happen in wholesaling. It happens in every aspect. When I was a young man, like people used to recruit me to go door knocking for their companies, life insurance, vacuums. It was very common. And I learned a lot of my basic sales and understanding of these guys coming. Now, I never bought anything. We were broke. Like, let's be honest. I couldn't afford a $60 vacuum cleaner. My mom couldn't. My dad couldn't. But this guy would sit there for 30 minutes on the couch, and work it. And it was really impressive. I look forward now. I think God put it in my life to make me understand how sales work and how you have to be truly authentic to make it work. But I will give those salespeople credit. They really worked, and you almost had to buy it from them because you felt bad for them. Have you ever bought someone from somebody that you just like, dude, you were so good and so nice, I just have to buy something from you. And but like that doesn't work in wholesaling. I'm here to tell you. So door knocking. The other problem is these dang Ring doorbells. Nobody answers the door anymore. I saw a comedy skit on it, and what was the guy's name? Super funny guy. Black hair guy. Gosh, I forget the name. I just saw it today, and he did a skit about like the doorbell rang and everybody ducked in the house. They go, "Did you ask anyone to come over? Did you ask?" We kind of do the same thing in our house too. So it's like I kind of laugh about it, but I'm like, because they treat you like when you knock at the door, like it's a massive invasion of your privacy. It wasn't like back in the day. So door knocking, pre-foreclosures is about as far as I would go with it, because it's a challenging, but some people like to do it. And if you're very comfortable with it and you're confident, just make sure you do it in a safe environment and you're not breaking any laws. So both of them will work. What's up, Alex? Alex is in Houston. Wonder what the temperature in Houston. I can't keep talking about the I hate being cold. Alex says, I'm new to this, but I have the drive and the passion. So Alex is probably the perfect person like for this channel. And we created it for people like that. So if you have the drive and the will, and you're willing to tap into my 20 years experience, and then you get Zach's experience, which he's had the last 5 years, fresh out of high school with this, and college, while he was doing it in college, then I really think you get the best of both worlds. And we kind of run, like, we just have fun in our business. And listen, how I do my business, you're probably going to do a little bit different down the road. And I don't need you to be Rick. I don't need you to be Zach. Everybody needs to be their own unique ability that God gave you, and you can do amazing things in life. So you're in the right place, Alex. Go to freewholesaling.com and get started there. And by the way, guys, you don't understand. I know everybody that goes in these courses. By the way, I have nothing but transparency in my courses. I know every major person that downloads my course. Yes, I know, because I know how to figure out IP addresses. It's simple software to do that. So I will never call them out, but I am honored and flattered and humbled by everyone who does it. And I can tell what percentage of the course you've gone through. So now I don't do one-on-one coaching. We do the lives where we do one-on-one. And if you guys want to work with me and Zach directly, we have a program. Let me put it up here. Basically, it's your Learn and Earn program. So we're actually in the process of working on a few deals right now. We got a bunch in queue that we're reviewing. Now, listen, you have to submit good deals. If you don't know how to get a good deal, go to freewholesaling.com. We teach you the mechanics, okay? If you got the drive and the will and you don't have a way to fund these deals and you haven't figured that part out, then you can register for the program. We do require you to submit a deal that's under contract and it's got like real value in it. If it does, we take the deal down together. I have one of my team members that works with you guys direct, and we'll communicate to you. But if your deal qualifies, I don't ask you for any money. We partner up 50-50, not 60-40, not 70-30, but you've got to do work. Like, I am not a disposition company for you. With that, you qualify. We're going to create a special program where you get unique access to me and Zach when we're doing some, kind of like some downtime before lives and afterwards. And you can ask a little bit more personal questions. That way you can earn money, you can learn the business, and then basically you can form a relationship with us. To me, it's awesome because I get access to all 48 states. My goal is to do a deal in all 48 states. I'm about 12 states down, so I got a long way to go. So guys, join in, have fun with it. That's a way that you can pay the fee and work with us. The other way you can pay a fee with us is just subscribe, like our videos, and share it with other people that are like-minded. We just surpassed 25K. That's just a Flip with Rick channel. My son has a Zach Ginn channel, which he goes in a little bit more in finances. And I also have a Rick Ginn channel. And we're all together. We all work together, so it's no big deal. We're a family operation, and we love working with you guys. So let us see. Let me get back to the comments. So awesome. I appreciate it, Alex. So you guys are talking to each other. That's awesome. Let's see. What's up, Tyler? I appreciate you. I'm glad you guys enjoy working with Zach. So he's a fun guy. Here's a good one. I asked, do you pay your VAs by the hour or commission? So typically you're going to pay a VA by the hour. And then if you want to offer a bonus, if they meet certain parameters for you, which we call KPIs, which is an acronym for key performance indicators, and you can bonus them out every 30 days, or you can do it per quarterly, but don't wait too long, because if they're busting their hump for you and they're helping you make money, to keep them around and keep them motivated, anytime you can bonus them, that's the best way to do it. But you've got to monitor your VAs and you've got to follow up with them because they need help. They need to know exactly what you're going to do, how to do it, and how they're going to communicate to you and what numbers they need to hit to earn their maximum check. So the Russian Eskimo, what's up? So I'll follow up with your questions right behind it. It says, looks like there's a crazy attack against wholesalers are happening. I wouldn't say crazy because it's technically there's 2 states. There's some other legislation. Guys, you need to get educated on how like laws get passed. So I've heard everything from NAR's pushing it, which they're always pushing it, and we all collectively agree NAR is just evil. It's just the root of politics and money, and they want the biggest piece of the pie. We all agree on that. But understanding for a legislation piece to get passed, it has to be sponsored by a politician. And so you can get into, I'm not going to get into details on, representatives, congressmen, and stuff like that. So I always tell people, go to get to know the people in your area the best, and at least to learn in your market, learn now today. And then the power of the internet, everything we have, we can communicate and we can share information. Am I big enough to beat NAR? No, I'm not. Do I know how to beat him? Absolutely, I don't. I don't. Like, I don't have this magic pill. But because we ask questions and we want to find the right way to do it, does not make us bad people, okay? We want to help. But we can't sit around a table and just say, yes, let's do it. Put me on the board. It's like, we got to ask like serious questions. And I'm going to be honest with you, when we talk about like representing wholesalers, guys, what makes us so unique and so special, like we're all like driven, we all want to be free, we want to make a ton of money. Unfortunately, a lot of that works against us when we try to band together. We're all wild cowboys. We kind of do things on our own. We don't want to be regulated. We don't want to be told we have to pay dues. So it's a challenge. And honestly, I that's the bigger picture challenge. Like, how do you get everyone collectively together? I've got some brilliant ideas, but I'm not really, I don't, there's no medium to share it other than sharing it with you guys. So the bigger we make this group, the more interaction we have, and I can get feedback from the Russian Eskimo, from people like that, and we could share our ideas. I'd like to get them collectively and organize them and then give it to the people that are trying to make change. And if it helps, dynamite, great. A lot of people ask me, Rick, are you for or against? I'm not for or against anything. I want to keep the assignment, like flat out. How we do it, like that's a harder part. If we're going to put an organization together, it's got to be a rock solid plan. We can't put it together just like we do real estate, like us, like real estate guys just put stuff together, market it. It's got to be so much deeper because you're talking about lawyers, politicians, lobbyists, like very, very professional people. Like, quite honestly, they hate our guts. Like, let's not even lie. So the minute they find a hole, they're going to rip us apart. And if we can't decide collectively as wholesalers how we're going to do this, we're going to get destroyed outside of this community. So for the record, I'm all about helping. We just can't sit around a table and go, yeah, let's just do it. We need to ask some like hard questions and figure it out. And honestly, it's a thankless job. I know it. Like, it's hard. But it can't just be about the people that are at the top on influencing, and that includes me and Zach. It's got to be collective from everybody. I would love to have a massive live and bring in every major person outside of influencers. I'm talking about lawyers, lobbyists, the whole thing. Get like 50,000 people on it, and let's just see what we can work out. It would be interesting, but it's not, to me, it's not about marketing. It's about trying to solve a problem. So move on to the second part. Is it a good idea to do double escrow close? Absolutely. A double close solves your assignment issue. How do we double escrow without money or pocket in the closing? Listen, you usually have to have some sort of deposit. So my suggestion to you is to work with your title company. Every state, every title company has different policies and procedures. Find one that works for you, that's legal and ethical, and we'll go for that. But that's my rant on that. Guys, I'm not a politician. Do you think I want like assignments outlawed? I don't. Honestly, it would break my heart. I commend for anyone trying to fix it. The question at hand is, how do we fix it? And it is a four-eyed monster, and I don't know the best way to do it. But I'm telling you, however it's done, it's going to have to be really organized, like from the grassroots where it's formed with a lawyer and so on. So we asked questions. I think good came of it, although it wasn't crazy, but I guess it was entertaining. So, but you know what? The thing is, even though it was a spectacle, people learned a lot from it. And that's what you guys got to walk away from it. Without an event like that, and without having people stand up on each side and say, hey, this is the issue, this is the issue, that's how you solve problems, guys. We can't solve it by just going, yeah, we're going to do this, and we're not going to, I think you need to bring people in collectively. And I'm talking about like from the new wholesaler to the guy who's done it 30 years. And from there, we can gather, we can work with people outside of our business because we all get a bad rap. But I think they're just jealous because we're providing better lives for our family and everybody out there. And that's why we do it. We're so far ahead of the game. And here's my theory on it. No matter what they legislate and do, I guarantee you, we will always be ahead of it. Will it be a little bit more difficult? Absolutely. I'm not going to spend time talking about it for 3 and 4 hours. And I've kind of already eaten into it. So I want to get back to helping people. So let's fight the fight. I'm all about change and help, how we do it. I think we just need to keep the conversation going. So good questions there. Here's a good one. Christian asks, what members do we need to have on our team to run a lean and efficient operation? So as I said earlier, everybody you're going to do. So in my opinion, 500,000, 500K in wholesaling within 1 year in the beginner stage, a maximum likes 3 people. And I don't count VA as a full person. I count a VA as a half person because, hey, let's face it, they're cheap, but you do have to train them and you have to work with them, and it does take effort. So honestly, 3 people, simply, you're the marketing master. You're doing the acquisition. So many people are like, well, Rick, don't I have to have an acquisitions person? You're 500K. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think you got enough deals to have an acquisition person to keep them busy full time. That's just the truth. I know the numbers it takes to get to it. So here's one of the things you guys got to understand is the more you ramp up your income, your revenue in wholesaling, you have to spend more and more money on marketing. So I meant to go into this a little bit further, but I got distracted. The best question you ask is, Rick, what percentage of my revenue should be dedicated towards marketing? Great question. Honestly, if we asked everybody in this business, you're going to get a completely different answer. Everybody has a different number on this. Okay. So you can look at industry averages. I'm going to tell you what my secret number is. Here's the problem. I'm really good at marketing. I know how to do it. Okay. I can get away with as low as 10%. Once you go below 10%, you have to go to all free items to do it. Yes, you can do it, but the problem is you're going to run out of time because you only have so much time in a day to run to all these courts, pull all these leads yourself, pull the code violations list. So in a perfect environment, I find that 12 to 15% is the notch on the head for marketing. So you want to make, by the way, you don't have to spend that to make your first 100K. Let me clarify that. I didn't spend that when I made my first 100K at all. But as I got into the business, I wanted a little bit more time and I wanted to make more money. So I increased my marketing budget. So I've always hovered between 10% on a light one, 15%. Guys, I've been doing this a long time. If you exceed 15%, you got to start looking at what you're doing because the profit margin is only so much. So a lean, mean operating machine in wholesaling, at the end of the day, for every dollar you bring in, I got to be careful of these numbers because like everybody's looking at me for it. You can run a lean operation and keep 50%. There's costs. You got to pay people. You got to do marketing. You have cost involved. You have closing costs. And I'm just telling you is 10 to 15% of that should be dedicated to marketing. Okay. The problem is when you run really big teams, your margins get down to 20 and 30%. And they go, okay, Rick, I'm doing more volume. But the problem is if you have one hiccup, you're in big, big trouble because I've watched people spend $100,000 a month on marketing and it's stressful. I've done it before. It is stressful. You got to bring in 30 to 50 deals just to cover the cost to run your operation. So sometimes there's just not that many motivated sellers in the market. Then if you do it virtually, you have the same problem all the big corporations done. Wholesaling and real estate investing is a localized economy, meaning what I do here in South Florida is not going to be the same in Akron, Ohio. There's just different margins, different methods. So what I would do is a couple VAs or a significant member of your family to help you out. And then I would get an outside dispo person, preferably a realtor that's already somewhat trained. And you just say, listen, I need this price in this amount of days, and you got to get it done, and it's got to be cash. So some deals we can actually get a mortgage, some have to be all cash, some go on market, some go off market, and that's where your dispo person will help you find an extra 10 or 20% in every deal. So good question. Bib says communication is key. He's probably married. That's why he's saying that. So it's true, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of the problems in life is just because we suck at communicating. I've been married 25 years. I'm telling you, like, I still make mistakes this day. Hopefully she's not going to walk in and tell me to do it. Like me and Zach, we go at it sometimes. Like we're families. Like everybody wants to see this perfect image of us on social media. Sometimes I want to put that boy in a headlock and just choke him out, but he wants to do the same to me. But if you guys are in a family and comment, these family issues, they're the same in every family. You think I'm like oblivious to, like, it happens. And I'm going to do an entire, I got to like find a time to schedule, is how to do wholesaling with the family. Because if anybody can do a documentary, it's me. I've done it with my wife. I've done it with, I've had the in-laws in the business. I've had, obviously my son. I'm trying to think of all the people. It'd be a great video, but it's risky, guys. It's like, so you can't fire your wife. I mean, you can, but it's painful. So you really got to know that person you're going to work with, because there's certain stresses that come along with real estate investing. And, sometimes stuff just doesn't work out, and you got to be willing to have fun and do it. And first few years was very tumultuous. Like because if you're in a relationship, you got to understand, when you do business, business is business, and then family's family. And then when you mix them together, sometimes it can be a turbulent storm, but we've navigated through it. It's actually made us stronger, and it's made our bond tighter. And that's why I kind of like, I'm partial to wholesaling. So, okay, let's see here. Olivia's got to go in. How do you get over sellers calling you a scammer? You just move on. Who cares? Olivia, you got to understand. You got to have thick skin in this business. I am called a scammer all the time. I'm not. I'm here to help. Like, people don't understand this. Our entire industry is so outside of what the norm of society is. We are considered the problem. And that is the problem in itself. I believe everybody, for the most part, in wholesaling is doing it to make their lives better. And they're honestly trying to help people out. But there's people that, you call it the jealous factor, envy, whatever you want. They're like, oh, you're just trying to like steal houses. Not. I got one the other day that says, why don't you just go get a 9-to-5 job? I did that. It didn't work. So I'm gonna stick with this side of it. So, Olivia, just water off a duck's back. Just let it roll on and move on, because it ain't gonna be the first time, and I promise you, it won't be the last time. Nobody dictates how you feel other than yourself, and you got to focus on that. And don't let outside forces control how you are going to make a living and how you're going to take care of your family. If you do, I promise you're going to wind up just like them. So, what's up, Jesse? I'm doing fantastic. Just trying to stay warm here in cool South Florida. So, what's up, Angelica? So you got the JV stuff there. So my suggestion, if you're new, dive into the free wholesaling.com course, figure out how to find motivated sellers in your area. Tune into our lives. We post, I believe, 2 videos a day. Nobody, like, I don't care. Like, we're going to do what we do. I don't care what everybody else does. I believe that my son and myself are pushing the wholesaling community to get more content out for free and help more people out. And, like, honestly, I'm a walking billboard for wholesaling. I try to bring as many people as I can in this business because I believe in it. I truly believe in my heart. Honestly, if you do it with me or somebody else, I don't care. Just get started in the business. There's plenty of business out there. And when I bring somebody in, it just makes more people that can benefit from it. More sellers get their house liquidated. More coaches get their fees. And you guys get to benefit from all the information out there. Guys, when I started in 2002, I would have never in my wildest dreams think we'd be doing something like this, but it's here. So if you're going to take advantage of it or not, it's up to you. You guys are going to dictate the future of the wholesaling market. It's up to you. I believe if you subscribe to this channel, you like these videos, you are going to have a major impact on how we receive information in the future, and you're going to be part of the change. So the bigger the movement, the stronger the influence, the stronger the voice. And I want to speak up for like the little guy that's just like confused on where to go. I just want to give you direction to get you started because I don't think it's that overwhelming. God knows I was overwhelmed when I started, but I navigated through it and I made it to this day. And now you can go anywhere and find all these wonderful people and find someone you connect with that you like, you know what, that's the type of guy or girl or like kid I would just hang out with. Like that's like, I like them. And that's it. Like just be authentic. So the best way to be authentic, in my opinion, do tons of lives. Like it's just easier. And honestly, I'm not editing it. You're getting it for real. And it's fun because we can interact. So awesome. Let's see here. A lot of people are asking me about List. If you guys want to know how we get the list, go to ListREI.com. You get a 7-day free trial period there. And sorry, guys, business always calls. And that's what we use. It's real simple. It's the best bang for your buck. You get 10,000 leads. And the old days, I paid per lead. I paid as much as 15 to 20 cents a lead. And God, I can't believe it, but we didn't have a choice. That's what we did. So, okay, let's keep going here. Jason says he's freezing. Minneapolis. Jason, give me a temperature. So, so I got a Facebook user says, Rick, please walk us through the entire deal. So Jason, it's not Jason, I apologize. So I don't have a name on here. Go to freewholesaling.com and I'll walk you through the whole thing because I'm not going to take like 30 minutes and do something of repetition. That's why we created the course. So go to freewholesaling.com. Everything's there for you guys. And we take the time and you can pick away at the video. If you're one of like these Netflix binge watchers, instead of watching Ozark or something like that, just go ahead and binge watch freewholesaling.com. I promise you, the acting's a little poor, but the content's amazing. Okay. So what's up? Christian says he's soaking in all of this. That is awesome. What time is it? Listen, when the old man has to break out his specs, you know, it's a problem. So my eyes are tired, but we got plenty of time. Keep the questions coming. This is what I enjoy doing. I love interacting with people and find out what's going on. Somebody asked, what percentage of the business should be JV? As much as you want it to be. So I'll be honest with you, in the beginning, I probably did a third of my business doing JVs. Times have kind of changed now because us wholesalers have this thing where like, we're so good at what we do, meaning we want to be free and financially free, that we all kind of work against each other. And that's what drives me nuts in this business. So if you can work with someone and tolerate them, that's great. If they won't sign an agreement, run to the hills because you're going to have problems. So I wish we were in a world where everyone would just do exactly what they said, and but we're not. So whatever you want to do with it is the answer to that one. So okay, so I got simple cash offer here. I got into rehabbing and stopped marketing, and now my bread and butter is on hold. Where should I start to go back into it? I was doing 25 to 35 a year, 20 deals a year full time. So guys, so this was me way back. Okay. I got so good at wholesaling. I said, why am I leaving money on the table? We can just fix all these houses up ourselves and make the most money in the world. I did that for almost 3 years, and I really got sour on the business because when you get into fixing a house, you get into construction. So once you start opening up walls on old houses and stuff like that, there's no guarantee you're going to make a profit. You can actually lose money. And the biggest problem is time. So if you have to fund these deals, I don't even care if you use private money, use hard money, use bank money, or use your own money, they all take time. It takes a ton of time to start, purchase a house. You really can't assign it because you're going to, So a typical flip on average, I think the national average is 9 to 14 months on a flip. And that's under $1 million. Once you go to $1 million, you can double those, if not triple them. So you get into a construction management job. And if you don't have experience doing it, it overwhelms you. Now throw in a few hurricanes, maybe you get a tornado, maybe you get a mudslide in California, or maybe some sort of, God, I'm not going to say the word, the sea event hits, and then you can't get labor, and then all of a sudden the supply chain breaks. You're in trouble if you got 7 or 8 houses. I know people in trouble right now with it. And so I learned the hard way. So simple cash offer. Unfortunately, you've already learned what the truth is. The money is in the deal. It is not in the rehabbing. Rehabbing is all for show. It's mostly people's ego, and they love design. I'll be honest with you, I enjoy watching it on show because it's not my money and it's like entertaining. And I know the whole thing's edited. I know most of it's a complete crock. So to make 6 figures rehabbing, I hope you're making 6 figures rehabbing a house, because by the time you close on it, fund it, pay all the expenses with it. Remember, most rehabbers, you have to have a project manager. It's impossible without them or you're going to get killed. And then, by the way, you are going to work every day. And then so when you do this, you don't know the final outcome, which is horrifying enough. There's always problems that come up. Every now and then one goes smoothly, but for the most part, hiccups come up. That's why you have the property. And then you stop marketing, and then you run out of deals. And then you get in the situation where he is right now, like, what do I do? Well, you got to go back to the basics. How did you get those houses under contract? Whatever you do in your market, it sounded like it was working. And then what I would do is I would assign as many of the contracts as you can. And then obviously you know how to fix houses up. Just cherry pick a sweet deal here and there. I like to cherry pick for a wholesale. Give me something that I can fix up under 10 grand, get it done in 2 weeks, throw it back out on the market, get the highest bidder, move on with my life. I don't want to wait a year to sell a property. And especially in this environment, guys, it's scary business because I don't see this lasting forever. It's definitely going to go on for a little bit, but I'm already seeing adjustments in the market now. So wholesaling, it doesn't matter if the market is here or there. What the reality is, if you're in wholesaling, you are churning cash today. It is work. And you need to collect as much cash and turn into assets to help take care of you. But here's what I would do. I find out what worked for you first, go through freewholesaling.com, and then assign the contracts of the crappy houses, and then cherry pick one house and never work on more than one project. And it's a lot more fulfilling that way. And you want to specifically target wholesaling. That's what I would do if I were you. So sorry about the long answer. Christian says this is where you start. He is absolutely right. So I put it right down there on the banner for you. So it's black and white. So it's really easy. So David asks, what's your take on commercial wholesaling? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It's the same thing. It's just a bigger boy league. So most commercial wholesaling goes through commercial brokers. Over 95% of it does. Ask me how I know. So if you're interested in doing this, you've got to get to know all the big players in your area because everything goes through them. Now, they're much more sophisticated sellers and buyers, and there's a little bit more skin in the game for inspection periods and stuff like that. And they are brutal on proof of funds. You think it's brutal in single family houses. I've done deals where I have to show $5-6 million. And if you can't produce it like right there, they will not even entertain your offer. So you have bigger obstacles in it, but there's a lot of small multifamilies, 10 units and under, that are just right because very few banks will finance them. So I would look for like the small cap commercial stuff, but you can do it. They asked, do you pay for an inspection period on off-market properties? My local stuff, no. If the margins are really tight and I think like we have something going on, I will pay for an inspection, but it's usually under $200. And I have to have a strong possibility that I'm using it as a renegotiation tactic for an unreasonable seller, but I don't like to deal with unreasonable sellers. But occasionally there's a property and I know what we can get for it, but they don't understand that the roof's bad and the AC's bad. So sometimes bringing in the third party helps them understand it's just not me saying it, it's the actual truth. So when you're doing virtual, it's much, much more challenging because I don't understand freezing pipes and snow. So if I was doing virtual, I'd probably be a little bit more careful. So hopefully that helps you out. It's a great question here. So I'll flip and ask, I'm ready to start calling, but when you are talking to someone and you don't know the answer to something, how do you come off not looking like a total idiot? I'm going to give you the same answer every time this comes up. When you don't know the answer to something in wholesaling, which, by the way, it's not if it's going to happen, it's just a matter of when, here's what you say. You know what? That's a great question. And I have my lawyer on my team. Do you mind if I bring it back to him? I'll get you an answer. And do you mind if I call you back in like an hour? Maybe it's 3 hours. Maybe you're going to meet with him the next morning. And I'll get you the right answer because I want to make sure we do right by you. That's it. So here's the bottom line. Tell them the truth. Give them the answer. And go get people to help you give the answer. You guys got to stop lying to people because it's just going to bury you in a hole. So you're never going to know everything. So I just need you to know how to talk to motivated sellers. So hopefully that makes sense for you. So guys, you don't need to know everything. I don't know everything. I still, after 20 years, I don't know everything. I learned something new all the time on the legal side, on the accounting side. I'm like, okay, well, I'll learn from that. And you will do too. If you wait to know everything, you'll never do anything and it's going to kill you. So just dive in the pool, guys. The water's warm. The air's a little cold. So, let's see this. I got Spaceman. What's going on? Gets me going every time I see your name pop up. Super excited at the opportunity for giving to us. I don't think most people appreciate the value of what you're giving away. So I didn't pay Spaceman to put this on there. I promise you. So I'm like an excitable guy. I like talking to people, like to have fun. I love this business because it's done amazing things in my life. And I hope the passion and the enthusiasm comes out. And the fact that I do this for free for you guys should speak loud volumes. I'm told that what I'm doing is subjectively wrong. And I don't believe with it, but I'm okay. We can have disagreements. Like that's the world we live in. And you guys are going to be the deciding factor. Do you like what we're doing here? Do you think it's crazy? I was told by somebody that, maybe you attract the wrong people by doing it. I don't care. Like, honestly, first of all, if you're negative on here or you have something that we delete you. Like everybody has the same problem with it. Like, do you really think you can control what everybody says? No, but I'm open to it. I get criticism all the time. I've just learned after 52 years of my life, I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing, and I've decided to go against the grain, and I know I'm going to get blowback on it. I'm fine with it. They are not my subscribers. They are not my users, although they watch all my content, they download all my programs, and I'm flattered by it. But at the end of the day, it's you. You're the only one I care about. That's who I fight for. That's what I do. That's what I do with my son. Listen, there's no person that's got this whole business down the right way. So if you can learn something for a little bit from everybody, knock your socks off. If you don't have money for a coaching program, we're a great fit for you. If you want to go spend money on a coach, go knock yourself out. Why not do it for free and see if you can do it, and then you can ramp it? Listen, wholesaling is really basic. There's no understanding. When I started wholesaling, it was very expensive to get in. So here we are 20 years later, and it's a third of the price then. And it's the exact same information, in my opinion. So I just want to get started and give everybody opportunity, from that 15 to like 20-year-old kid that's like struggling and his parents like think he's crazy. What's this Zach Ginn guy? What's he saying to him? So I try to lead by example. I know I'm going to get criticism. I don't care. Honestly, I'm friends with most of the guys and gals out there. And hey, business is business, guys. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what you say to my son. I love this business. So the fact that I could take my son and and I'm telling you, this exact instruction I'm giving you guys, I gave him, and he did 100 grand in high school. So I'm proof to the pudding that I know it works. And now you get the perspective of a young man who's his own now. Like I truly, Zach is my business partner. He's an amazing, but he's still my kid, like, end of the day. So We're authentic. If it rhymes with you, great, awesome. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, hit subscribe, just share it with as many people as possible, and we'll keep running with this. And it is what it is. Like, that's the beauty of America. We all don't have to agree on everything. So I appreciate it, Spaceman. Thank you so much. Somebody asked, what has to be done during the due diligence period? Well, number one, you've got to find a cash buyer. So if you don't already have lined up, you've got to go in hyper mode to get one. And you got to make sure this is a deal you want to take down. And if there is a problem with it, meaning you've got the wrong price, you have no cash buyers, it's your obligation to go back to that seller right away and go, I cannot do this. I wish more people do that. Sometimes we just make mistakes in this business and we overpay for properties. You cannot drag these homeowners out. I think everybody in the industry agrees with me on that. So do the responsible thing. Go through wholesaling, freewholesaling.com first for free. Learn through it. Educate yourself. Get on as many lives as you can, preferably with me and Zach, but anybody else out there in the industry is going to help you out, and learn and just become the student, become the master, and have fun with the business, but be responsible. So your due diligence period is technically your time to decide if you're going to buy the property. Okay. So if you got a 14-day inspection period, please do not wait till day 13, 14 to go, I couldn't make it work. You probably just paid too much for the property and you didn't get the right training, and that was the problem. So you got to go back, take the data, and adjust from it. So let's see. I don't know who this kid is. You guys, should I block him or what should I do? So I know I got some background music playing. If it's annoying you, tell me now. I believe it's a new feature and we're trying it out. So let me know, and maybe Zach will share in the comments here. But awesome. Okay. So Olivia says, Rick, you and your wife did a great job raising amazing kids. So it's funny because I had a discussion with my wife the other day. I go, would you ever consider coming online? Because you guys know it's usually the mom or the woman that's the real deal. Like, let's face it. Like, how you guys do it's beyond me. Like, the minute I get sick, I'm a big baby. I'm not big with pain. Like, I mean, I'm okay with like physical pain, but like, you know, I got a splinter. I'm a big baby. And she was a big part of Zach. So I actually probably bigger than me to a point. So you guys tell me. I don't think she's going to come on. So she likes to keep it private. Maybe I bring my daughter on. So I have a 20-year-old daughter too. So, you know, you got to have amazing women in your life to do the things you want to accomplish. So I appreciate Olivia. I'm going to tell her Olivia called out and says she wants mom on. So I'll have to let you know if that happens. So it's awesome. SK says, I want to be a father like you. That's awesome. So why I like doing these live is you guys kind of get to know me. You guys, I could sit here and bleed wholesaling all day. I can do anything from short sale flips, creative financing, subject to, but I try to target the way to get you in this business to be able to accomplish the things, the freedoms I was be able to do. I'm telling you, without wholesaling, I probably wouldn't have been that great of a father. And I'm like, I don't mean that like negatively. It just allowed me to do things I never imagined I could do. Like my father was always on the road, like doing things. Like that's what we had to do to survive. And it made a big impact on me. And I decided, like, when I have kids, I told my wife, I got to find a way to spend a lot of time with them. And I knew in a corporate job, I was never going to get that. I had to, like, I left the house at 7:15 every morning. I got home at 6 at night. And you guys, if you're doing that, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. It's terrible. And you're building someone else's dream, and you're getting these paychecks. And by the time you get your wages taken out of your W-2, it's just torture. I'm like, man, I can't do this anymore. So SK Films, you can be whatever you want to be. It's completely up to you. Just use the right vehicles to allow you to spend more time with the people you love, the people you want to be around, and surround yourself with them. So, okay. So Teresa asked an interesting question. So She said she missed the first part. The good news, it's recorded because this is live, so you can go back and watch it. It says, my question is, do you strictly wholesale by making low offers, or do you make offers close to or above the asking price after considering the market in that area? So there's a lot to dissect here. So number one, do I make low offers? I make offers according to what the motivated seller's needs are. Okay. The mentality of just making low offers, in theory, that's what we technically do. I don't use that any type of that terminology with my motivated sellers. So I'm going to make an offer that's fair, that works for them and works with me. Because when you create win-win situations, everybody wins and everybody has a good time with it. That's how I do wholesaling. For those people that say, oh, wholesaling is torture, it's just low ball, there's way too much competition. You're right. You keep doing it that way, you're never going to make it in that. Question number two, do you ever consider going above their ask price considering the market in that area? Yes. This is sometimes when you can open up to some creative solutions. I guys always tell you, I love probates because in probates, you can take over and do a subject to on a deceased person's property, and you'll usually get very little to no objections on it. So it's different though. What happens in Florida, I'm not sure where Teresa's at. It's different. I have some properties we get through wholesaling. It's such an amazing property. I'm taking it down even close to price because I know when I put it on the market, I'm going to make so much more money, or those properties only come up every 20 years and I'm going to take it. You've got to understand, you've got to make common sense offers in markets. So many people think wholesaling is just about making lowball offers. It's not. It's just a theory. You make offers that are a win-win for both parties and everybody wins, and you can do amazing things with wholesaling. But awesome question, Teresa. Thank you so much. So, okay. I slid down the wrong direction. Let's say, okay, dude. Okay. We have a new winner here. I don't have a name, but we're at 4 degrees. So let's see if anybody can top that. And guys, I have a phone. I can look it up if you guys are like, so anything below 4 degrees, if it's got a negative in front of it, I got to verify it. So just fun stuff to, oh man, I don't know how you guys deal with that stuff, man. Whew. What do you do? Like heated blankets? Like how do you keep warm at night? Like I couldn't even make it out to my car, man. I got too much Florida in my blood. So see, Christian says, Rick, can you please touch on warm calling pre-probates from PropStream list? So let me pull this up here. Let's see. So you guys know, if you go to ListREI.com, you can get a 7-day free trial version with the PropStream, and they have a unique feature called pre-probates. And all it is it's a cross-reference between a death certificate and somebody that owns a property, a piece of parcel or property in that county. That's it. It's a good target and it's very cheap and effective because if you have to pay to pull probates or you're physically doing it, it is a little bit draining, but it's definitely worth it. Okay. And remember, the more obstacles you got to go to get a list, usually the better, the least amount of competition you're going to have. So warm calling these, I've termed this phrase, and Zach helped me worked on it when we were working on our business when he was 17 and 18, is I was always adamant. I'm like, I'm not going to cold call a probate. Like you just got to have ice in your veins to do that. But I quickly found out when I didn't, there was plenty of people that would fill that void for me. And even realtors started doing it. So I said, you know what? I know I can help anybody out that has in a probate situation. It's one of my favorite ways. Guys, do I get cussed at, yelled at, like hung up on, told me I'm a POS? Absolutely. So back to Olivia's really question, like how do you get over it? You just move forward. That's it. You don't affect how I feel. Only I have the ability to do that. So when you're doing warm calling, we're just reaching out and we're talking to them. So the really cool thing is if you go to freewholesaling.com, we teach you how to do it. You get these lists. I don't say, listen, I see Johnny, I see your husband died. Are you interested in selling? You're never going to make it on that one. Remember, you got to have a conversation. You got to have a heart. When I say warm calling, it means you got to be sensitive. So think about that. How would you respond if somebody called you on that? So I'm just going to call and go, listen, do you have any interest in selling that property on 123 USA Street? And just pause. Now, either they're going to hang up on you, they're like, well, We do, but like, do you know my uncle just died, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's terrible. I genuinely feel terrible. I'm not lying. I hate when people die. It's the worst thing in the world. So just have a heart, work with them, and see if you can get past that awkward minute or two and form a relationship. Now, when it comes to warm calling a probate, once you've converted and you can have a conversation with them, do not try to shove an offer down their mouth in the first 5 minutes. On average, it takes 6 contacts on a probate. 6. How do I know this? Because I've done so many and I've taught my staff how to work it. Stop trying to ram a cash offer down a probate's mouth. It's not the biggest priority in their life. You have to spend time with them. So that's my advice to you. So that'll help you out. Good question, Francis. Okay. Man, you guys are rolling into the comments. Spaceman's back. Using your info at the basis, but help out each other. We get stuck on something and need help. So guys, you use me, you use Zach. You can go to our Facebook group page, which is, I believe, is the fastest growing group on Facebook, but I'm not Mark Zuckerberg, so I can't really, I can't figure that all out. But you guys can find us on a very, 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 very active group, Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook. When you guys want to do the one-on-ones, that's where you have to be a member there. You have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, and then you get access to the link. And I love bringing people on and doing that. So I'll tell you what, real quick, if somebody wants to go to the Facebook page, the link should be there. If someone can figure out how to get in there now, which it's not that hard. People always like, how do I get in there? Remember, you have to be registered, you have to be joined, and you have to be subscribed to our Flip with Rick group. You can be subscribed to Zach Ginn or Rick Ginn. We share our videos, and then we share our interest in everything we do, and we work together. But if you hop on there, someone's got like a real quick question, I'll take one person before we end our live. So let's see what happens. Okay, so back to... I'll leave that up for a little bit so you guys know how to get there. I love when you guys talk in the comments here. It works. So Patrick says, I've got an ARV with 208 for 208 and under contract for 95 with an estimated rehab. That's a good deal. So Patrick, you're welcome to work with us. I'll put it back up in here, but if you want to work with somebody in the comments, like, here's the beauty of it. Like, I honestly don't care. If you need help and you want the confidence someone doing it 20 years and that gives you the confidence to do it, then that's great. But you understand, when I work on a deal, I'm only going to guide you in the direction because my butt's on the line too. And I want to make a win-win situation for everybody involved. What did I do with this? Okay, well, I'll put it up there. But Patrick, I don't think that's a question. I think that's just an awesome statement. And don't put the address on here because you'll have a lot of buyers like real quick. But that's awesome. This is why we do it. And you know what? I don't know how Patrick learned the wholesaling information, but the fact that he's working it and sharing his successes, I think it's awesome. So Desi says, I went online to graduate early. So you guys know, if you have kids, so people always ask, hey, Rick, how did you raise Zach and stuff? I'd like to take full credit for a lot of, my wife did this, and she's a former school teacher, is there's programs as early as the 7th and 8th grade that your children can start qualifying to earn their AA degree before they graduate high school. Okay? Think about this, guys. If you're paying 50 grand a year for high school and you can get 2 years for free, I'm putting 100 grand in your pocket just by using this technique. So you're getting more and more freedom to do any type of schooling you want. If you can take advantage of a charter school and it's a good fit for your kid, you know your kid better than anyone else. I'm not here to tell you how to raise your kids, but there are programs to push your kid and excel with kids that want a lot more for their life. So remember, at the end of the day, they're going to learn more from you than any teacher or any school is ever going to teach them. And what you do, your kids pay attention. That's why Zach's in the seat he's in. I had no wherewithal when I was 22. I couldn't even sit in front of a camera and like, I just didn't do it. I knew how to sell and I knew how to talk to people, but I just lacked, I don't know, the guidance, the discipline. So I made a point when I became a father, I go, I'm going to do things different. And so now the pressure's on Zach whenever he decides to have kids, then he can start and pass the torch down. And the idea is each generation should get better, not worse. And if you are experiencing any type of financial hardship, I want to give you an opportunity to get out of it. You have the ability to get out of it. I don't care what anybody tells you. You have the ability to get out of it. I'm hoping you choose wholesaling, but there's so many tools and so many instruments you can use today with technology to get out of your situation. But you've got to decide to make a change. You cannot keep trying to keep up with the Joneses and doing what you do and expect to be ultra successful. So you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Just by watching this live 2 hours, you've made a huge sacrifice, and I know it. And I commend you for it. And let me tell you what, the currency for me is your time. And if you give me your time, I'm going to give you as much experience, wisdom, and education as I can in wholesaling, and I'm not going to hold back anything. I don't care. I don't have this veil. It's like you pay me a certain amount of dollars, I'm going to give you more information. I would like to have more time with you, but remember, if I want to educate 10,000 people to be super proficient, to make a minimum of 100 grand getting started, I need the biggest audience I can. How do we do that? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we will continue this. So that's it. Start early, man. Learn as much as you can and keep it going. So let's see. Let's get someone new on here. Patriza. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but I probably butchered it. Said, I sold to a hedge fund property in Hialeah. Awesome. Smooth deal. So obviously, Patricia has some connections in South Florida with hedge funds. So maybe I'll be reaching out to this person, but I have a hard time getting in touch with other hedge funds. So Zach did an entire video on this, and you're not alone in this. So we all kind of deal with this. Like sometimes they're easy pockets and they pop up. I find if we can network and communicate, we can share a lot of information about how these hedge funds work. So awesome, because it's constantly changing. Let's see. Well, that one keeps popping up. I'm not sure. So Isaiah says, do you have any sub-2 seller financial lease option contracts in the course? We run like a basic understanding of it. I want you guys to understand this. Creative financing has been around forever. It's not something that was newly created. It's always been around since the day it was real estate. So in my opinion, some of the best ways to find creative financing is through your wholesale operations. So if you're just starting out, if you get started in wholesaling and you learn to educate yourself about creative financing, subject to owner financing, lease options, just try not to take it all down at once. In my opinion, I believe everybody should start out wholesaling because it's the fundamentals of real estate, and then learn as much as you can about the business and then start learning about creative financing. To learn creative financing without wholesaling, it's just, to me, that's not how I would do it. I'm not like, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. But wholesaling will point you in the direction of deeply discounted deals, and it'll point you in the direction of properties in foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, probate, or some of them that are upside down. So if wholesaling will point you to wholesale deals and creative financing, that's where I prefer you to start. If you want to go the other route and do a course, that's your option. But you've got to master wholesaling. You cannot skip wholesaling. You could be a creative financing master, but if you don't understand how wholesaling works, because creative finance people will actually find wholesale deals every now and then. So a good investor will learn both. Wholesaling is easier to master in the beginning. Creative financing, here's my opinion. I love it, but you have to understand it. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of legalities in it, and you've got to understand what you're doing. I wouldn't go out and do my first creative financing deal all by myself if I had no experience, because I don't know the proper paperwork. You're talking about power of attorneys, recording liens, transfers of deed. It's complicated. It's not hard. It's just you've got to understand the structure on it. So yes, there's plenty of courses out there. My recommendation is learn wholesaling first. Okay. Solid statistics. Rick, thanks for all you do. Have you ever thought about doing a wholesaling event for 3 days? So let me give you like my deal on this. Like, first of all, I love the human interaction. That's the only downfall of what I do here. Like, I'm excited about like the future of technology because in the perfect world, it would be kind of like Star Trek. Now I'm showing my age, I know. But like you beam me up, put me in a facility, we do that, and I could be back home. I love it. I find it so cumbersome to fly in like airports now with inspections and all that other stuff that's going on today with it that I've kind of pulled back from doing it. I have friends all over the country through wholesaling, and I love spending time with them. And most of them have amazing houses in parts of the country that I want to go to. That being said, I think I've been to every conference that's ever had. And here's my challenge with it. They're expensive to put on, and everybody has to travel, spend time and money. And it's like, I love that part. At some point, maybe if things change in society, we can do that. For now, my focus is on building this community, and anything that distracts from connecting with as many of you, I'm not going to do, because I don't know how many people are going to show up. Like if you're in California, you're really going to come to Florida. And so I tell you what, the bigger we can make this group, the more options we're going to have. I would love to do that one day. I promise you, we are going to do some massive virtual thing that's going to be like no other live event that you've ever seen on, because me and Zach know how to bring it. Like we understand that. We listen to you guys and we listen to feedbacks. Our egos are checked out at the door. I don't care what other people say about this. All I care is that you guys get value and you appreciate it. I believe that wholesaling specifically, okay, I'm just talking about wholesaling, is such a special niche community, but we're using old school tactics to learn, and it's got to change. We've done webinars, we've done live events. That's how I was brought up in this business. And now today, like you just click a button and like, hey, Rick and Zach are live. Let me talk to them. Hey, this guy's live. She's live. It's awesome. So you have so many choices now. Those events have come harder and harder to come by. And honestly, when I do an event, if I did an event, I would pack it in one day. I'm not going to I'm just going to get to it. We're going to go 12, 14 hours. We're going to dive into wholesaling, learn everything, because the boat ride's not going to help you. The fancy dinner is definitely not going to help you. And there's not enough alcohol in the world to make you a better wholesaler. So I have conflicts about that. So I will listen to bounce you off. We're going to have a massive virtual event and build it up and build so much value into it. It's going to be awesome. And as this community grows, then maybe we can do it, because I want to sector it out, because I don't think it's fair. People in California, if they have to fly to New York or like Florida, it's restrictive. We all have families. We all have obligations. So good point, Lo. I love the human interaction. It's just right now, our focus is on building as many great wholesalers as we humanly possibly can. So the more time I can do lives, the more I can do this. So we got Jacobson at 11 degrees. Not sure where he is. I know he'll put it on there. So says, I really appreciate you and Zach. We appreciate you and your time you spend on this channel. So let's keep going here. Gosh, you guys. Okay, now we're going to kind of go in like a little bit of a lightning round, so I'm going to try to make them short and sweet. I says, what marketing tools do you use? As I said, I like to use ListREI.com. You can also use, we like to use Batch. So to be honest with you, we use them both. And I don't have ownership in any of the companies. And we use them both. We pay for our services. And I do a lot of comparisons. So I'm still collecting data as we go. Remember, I'm an old school core logic guy. So you older wholesalers understand what I'm saying. It was expensive and painful. I love the options you guys have. I am not married to any one company. The only person I'm married is my wife, and then my commitment to my family in the wholesaling space. So use what works for you. But my favorite tool in the world is using listrei.com or using the Zach code for the batch leads, and you get a huge discount because you can do your skip tracing. A lot of controversy over the comping on them. Like, guys, listen, don't spend any time. Like the comping, it's just too easy to get comps now. I wouldn't spend any energy on it. So Either or, my friend. So let's see here. Striving Brian, I like it. Rick, I had my first contract signed today. Deal landed on my lap. I'm not so confident with my minimal knowledge, but I'm just going for it. Is that a good idea? Dude, so you're freaking out. You're a little uncomfortable, but you know you got to make a change together. Yes, it's a good idea. Just to make sure you have as many tools as humanly possibly for you. So make sure you've comped it right. Make sure you have the right paperwork. And if you need help, now's the time to reach out to it. If you want to connect with us to possibly do a JV, we're happy to work with you. We just do a straight up 50-50 split. And we're brutally honest. We tell you if you have a deal right off the bat, and we help out a lot of people like with mistakes on it. But if you have a contract and you want us to take a peek at it, knock yourself out. If you have a local cash partner and they can help you guide it through it and you can do some sort of split, you can do it that way. The connections below, but like, yes, awesome. Go for it, but you got to be responsible for it too. But listen, if you don't try something, guys, nothing's going to change. Remember this, you can always go back to your old life. It is always there for you. You have to make a decision if you want to make a change. And the first few deals you do are brutally uncomfortable. So you're in the right place. So when you have fear, it just means pay attention. It doesn't mean retreat. And that's probably the biggest mistake most wholesalers make up front. So good luck with it. I think you'll get it done. And let us know if you need any help with it. So, dude, Matt, that is awesome. You're right. Sebastian, I can't even pronounce his last name. Look this guy up, dude. He is one of the funniest dudes I've ever seen on the internet. He did a skit about like when somebody rings the doorbell is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like I have to watch it 4 or 5 times. It's so funny. I would share it here, but there's probably proprietary rights. But I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you so much. I love that guy. I love comedy. So Alex says it's 60 degrees. He's in. He says another guy says he's in Cincy. So who day? I think there's a football game going on. So by the way, I love you guys quarterback, but I don't think you got a chance on Sunday. I'm just going to say it like this. And I'm a Dolphins fan. Like I can't even get into the playoffs. So good luck to you. Hopefully it works out. So thank you, Alex. Anthony says, if you had to restart, where would you start? It would be wholesaling. I would never done anything else. I would always stuck to wholesaling and I would have skipped everything else. Brandy says, what software you use to pull your lists? I like to use ListREI.com, or you can use Batch. If you use code Zach, they give you a 50% discount, and pick which one works the best for you. And God bless you on that one. Is Batch Leads good for local use in small populated area? Absolutely, 100%. You can use ListREI.com, which is PropStream as well too. Striving Brian, I think we talked about it, man. Dude, send me the deal. I'm happy to help you out. If not, make sure you take that deal down. Answer is yes. So I put the link in there on the bottom there. So I love when you guys succeed, man. It's awesome. So I'm going to skip through the chats here. Let's see. I'm going to get someone that hasn't posted yet. Nate says, what's the new strategy for 2022? Here's the new strategy. Put in the work, dedicate yourself to wholesaling, and understand this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a strategy to make you financially free and make your time with the people you love the most as the best possible experience you can have. That's it. That's the new strategy. Guys, stop chasing these bells and whistles. People are coming up with these creative agreements where you can partner up the homeowner and you put a lien on the house, do a power of attorney, and then you list it. That's not wholesaling, guys. That's playing realtor. I don't do that. Do not ask for instructions here. It's a recipe for disaster. I don't agree with that strategy. It's definitely not a new starter strategy. So don't do it unless you know exactly what you're doing and you have legal advice and you have the paperwork. Okay? So stick to it, man. Stick to wholesaling. It works. Jaceel asks, what should you do if you have a partner? Should we write our own? What agreement should you do if you have a partner? So, two different types. If you have a business partner going in the business with you, you need to form some sort of entity, most likely an LLC. And then you need to seek some legal counsel to protect both parties in the event that you ever get sued or the company is dissolved or if somebody walks away from it, so you know what the outcome is. So that's more qualified for a lawyer, so I'm not going to answer that. If you're talking about just partnering up with another wholesaler or someone bringing you a lead and you want to JV with them, which is just short for joint venture, then you do a JV agreement. I believe you go to freewholesaling.com. We share all that with you. It's pretty straightforward. It's not hard. So, guys, that's it. We are on the 2-hour mark. I appreciate your time. Remember, I'm here every Friday evening from 5 to 7. I'm also on Thursday with Zach. And then I always record videos to give you the best information on wholesaling today. Check it out. Check it out on YouTube. Go to our Facebook group, Wholesaling Houses for Real. And guys, let's connect. Hit subscribe. Smash that like button. And I will see you in the next live. You guys have a blessed day and a fabulous weekend. And I enjoy spending time with you. Thank you guys so much. Bye.